Istanbul is one of the world's great cities. On our recent trip to Turkey, Cici and I spent our first 2.5 days in Istanbul, which seemed like the perfect amount to get a decent feel for the city. Staying in the old city, we headed right out to check out the incredibly beautiful Blue Mosque with its fabulous courtyard. With no line, we headed right into the mosque to admire its beautiful interior. The Blue Mosque is just a few hundred yards away from Hagia Sofia, which had a large line to enter in the late afternoon, so we grabbed a simit, which is like a twisted bagel, and decided to go get dinner and save Hagia Sofia for first thing tomorrow morning. For dinner, we grabbed our first Turkish meal with a tasty doner kebab, pide, which is like a boat-shaped pizza, and some balloon bread and tea. We were happy to get our stomachs full. Merry Christmas! Christmas is just another day in a Muslim country, so just after sunrise we went over to the quiet Blue Mosque for a few minutes before getting in the now much shorter line to be among the first people let into Hagia Sofia. Built about 1500 years ago, Hagia Sofia is an architectural marvel. After Hagia Sofia, we got our Turkey Museum pass card, which would be key to giving us access to ruins and museums all over Turkey. Our first stop was the Topkapi Palace, which has really cool tile work. You could easily see how people could spend a couple hours exploring there. Next, we took the tram across the Bosphorus Strait to get the views from the Galata Tower. The views were great, but I probably wouldn't buy the ticket alone. If it wasn't included in the Turkey Pass, I'm not sure we would have done it. On our way back, we walked across the Galata Bridge and stopped in by a fish market and grabbed a little balik durum, or fish wrap, to be part of our lunch. It was absolutely delicious, and for only 100 Turkish lira, or about $3 US, it was a great snack to fill our stomachs. We visited a few more mosques like the Yeni Cami and Rustem Pasha mosques. Amazing mosques seem to be on every street corner practically. Each one is quite impressive in size and is really beautiful. Next, we walked through the Spice Market, Egyptian Bazaar, and Grand Bazaar on our way back to the hotel. We enjoyed all the Turkish delights, tea, and spices that line the Egyptian Bazaar, and it was definitely our favorite of the two. Later on in the day, we visited the Archaeological Museum and enjoyed checking out the sarcophaguses, statues, and ancient coins. To cap off our sightseeing for the day, we walked back by the Blue Mosque and Hagia Sofia to see them lit up in the evening light. It was beautiful sitting in the square and watching all of the life bustling around us. On our final day in Istanbul, we took a tram to the water and hopped a ferry to the Asian side of Istanbul to start the day. It was a beautiful morning to be by the water. The Asian side seemed to be less touristy than the old city for sure, and a couple of mosques we went into we had completely to ourselves. On the return ferry, we sat at the back and found that the seagulls follow the ferries in a frenzy for the entire ride. It was very entertaining to watch. We then took the tram to the neighborhood of Balat to walk around and check out the colorful and funky houses and shops. It almost felt like being in a cobblestone street in San Francisco. The streets were incredibly steep and the shops were fun to check out with their different themes and homemade crafts. Back at the pier, we grabbed lunch at a little fish spot on the water. Yummy fried sardines were our main course with street corn to follow. We were told that we had to try the local ice cream, so we got a scoop of tasty pistachio ice cream from one of the lively vendors. I think 2.5 days was just about the perfect amount to see the major old city sites. Istanbul is a giant city though, so I know that we just only scratched the surface of all that it has to offer in one of the world's great cities.